We are live. Hi everyone, welcome back to Geeks for Geeks Practice. Today in this video we'll be discussing the problem of the day for 29th of January. The name of the problem was reverse words in a given string. This particular question was asked in a lot of product based companies. If I have to name them, so like Adobe, Amazon, Goldman Sachs, Make My Trip, Microsoft, Paytm, and Samsung, all these companies have asked this particular question. So we'll be discussing this problem, like how actually we have to do this problem in the given constraints. So consider giving me a +1 in the chat if my voice is clearly audible and my screen is also visible, and then I'll start with this particular problem, right? You can just give me a +1 in the chat if my voice is clearly audible and my screen is visible, and then we'll start with this particular problem. Now in this particular problem, like you'll be given a string and you just have to reverse the words given in the string, right? So all of you can just give me a +1 in the chat so that I can know. Okay, hi Aman, hi Anurag. Right, so this particular problem, like it's problem of the day for 29th of January. This problem, as I told you, has been asked in a lot of product based companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Adobe, Paytm, Samsung, Goldman Sachs, Make My Trip. Every company has asked this particular question, right? So we'll be looking into this question, but before starting, like this series started from which day? Which series? Problem of the day is continuing for every day, right? So like before starting, like I'll tell you about an initiative which is from Geeks for Geeks. This is a channel code error which is powered by Geeks for Geeks. So basically on this channel what we do is we are daily bringing out lead code daily challenge problems. Like you can see I'm daily doing the lead code challenge problems, and like you can see like several of the videos that I have made, they have 1.2k plus views within 2 weeks. So you can consider watching these videos if you are someone who is doing lead code daily challenges for regular practice apart from Geeks for Geeks daily problems. And we are also bringing like Code Forces editorials and at code editorials which are brought by me, Hitesh, and Ayush Gupta. So you can consider to subscribe this channel. If you are looking to develop more of your skills, you can just write code error in the search bar and you can subscribe the channel. So this was about the channel. Now coming back to this problem, so this particular problem says that you will be given a string, right? You will be given a string and you have to reverse the string without reversing its individual words, right? So you don't have to reverse it individual words, and the words are separated by a dot. So it is saying I like this program very much, right? So this is saying this. So let's see what does it mean, right? Give me a +1 in the chat if up till now things are clear to all of you, right? I like let's say this is programming, right? And very much. If it is saying something like this, then what you have to do is, like if this is the given thing, then what you have to do is you have to output it something like this. Let me write it for you. So you have to output it something like this: much, then dot, then very, then dot programming, then dot like, and dot I, right? Like this. Okay, is the problem statement clear to everyone? Consider giving me a quick +1 in the chat if the problem statement is clear to everyone, right? You just have to reverse the order of the words, right? If much is occurring at the last, so much will occur here first. Then if the second last word was very, so the second word here would be very. If I was the first word, so I would be the last word here, and they would be differentiated by a dot or a full stop, you can say, right? So like I like this program very much, so much, very, dot program, dot this, dot like, dot I, right? If this much part is clear to everyone, you can just like the video and give us a +1, right? So now this problem says that you have been given this particular string. So you'll be given this particular string, that is I dot like dot this program very much, something like that, and you have to reverse all the words, right? You have to print the words in the reverse order. Basically the word which is occurring at the end, you have to bring it at the very first thing. Expected output much dot very dot program output like this. Yeah, right. Bro, what is the difference between? What do you mean by that? Much dot very dot program, much dot very dot program dot this dot. Okay, so in this particular thing, what you have to do is you have to reverse all the words, right? Now the program is saying that you can reverse the string. You have to reverse the given string, like you have to do this particular thing, but without reversing the individual words, right? So one way to do this could be like if I were to tell you, let's take a simple example, right? Let's forget this about this particular big example. All of you can just give me a +1 in the chat and like the video if up till now things are working fine for you, right? Okay, so let's do this. So if I have this thing, right, if I have like I dot like dot programming, right? So you could say that I could maybe mirror it like I like, let's say I am writing something like this. I like CPP. I like I dot like dot CPP, right? If I'm writing something like this, if I just reverse this word, if I just reverse this particular word that I have, so it would be PPC dot like dot I, right? It would be like this if you were thinking in this direction. Now if you do what, if you just reverse the each word. Now if you just reverse each word, right, if you reverse this word, this would not look like this, sorry, like it would be looking like this, KIL, right, like this, and dot I. If you just reverse these words, these individual words, now you just reverse and you just print them, so it would be CPP dot like dot I. Now from the initial word you can see that this is getting reversed, right? This could be one of the ways that you could do it. Like first of all, you just reverse the complete string that's been given to you. You just reverse the complete string and then you reverse each word, right? You reverse each word, but in the question it is saying that you do not have to reverse the words. Do not reverse the words, right? In the question it's saying that do not reverse the words, right? Otherwise the task would have been very easy. You need not to reverse this, like you cannot do this, you cannot do this to this, something like this, right? It is not accepting my solution even though I reverse the string. Now I'll be letting you know that how to reach an optimal solution for this particular problem. Like if I have let's say I take some example. So if I am making something like this, right, so we'll be using a very famous data structure for this. Like if I have like this, something like this, if I like I like programming very much, right? If I have written something like this, so in this particular case, if this has been given to me, then what I could do is I could use a stack, right? Notice that you have to reverse the words in the end, right? You have to reverse the words in the end. So I remember a data structure that is a stack, right? What I would do is store every word in the stack, right? Store every word in the stack. Store every word of this particular given sentence in a stack. Like what I mean by that, so whenever you are looking at the string, so what you do is you simply make a stack, right? You simply make a stack. Let's say I make a stack like this, right? Something like this, and this is named as stack stack, right? Something like this. Then what I would do is I would start my string like this. Whenever I'm encountering a character, in that case I'll be keeping on adding like st plus is equal to s of I, right? If my current character that I have, if let's say if my stack name is st, okay, stack name is st. So if my s of I is not equal to a dot, right? In that case I will say that okay, str, or I'll say temp plus is equal to s of I, right? So I'll keep on adding this particular character to my string. Else what I'll do is I'll say let's push this particular word into my character, because if I have encountered a dot, in that case I would be pushing into my stack. So I'll say as stack dot push temp, like so push this particular word and mark my temp as null again, right? Something like this. So what it would do is if I encounter this I, so first of all I'll be putting this I, right? So I'll put this I, so this would be like this. Then I will start from here. So I'll first of all put L in my temp, then I, then K, then E, then I'll encounter a dot. So I'll go in this else part because the s of I, current s of I will be a dot. So I'll push it into my stack. So I'll push this particular temp, that is like, into my stack. So like would be put into my stack. After this, what would happen? I'll put programming into my stack, right? Similarly, I would put programming into my stack. So temp would keep on building each time, right? Temp will keep building this thing. So temp would start from here. So it would build P, then ROGRA, then MMING. It would build. Then whenever you encounter a dot, so you go to this else part, and whenever you go to this else part, so in your stack st, you simply push the word. So you push programming here, and then you mark your temp as null, right? So now temp would be null again. And from where will I start? I'll start from here. I'll start from very. So very would be stored into my temp. Now when very is stored into my temp, so I have a dot here, right? I have a dot. So what I'll say, if I have a dot, so again I'll push it into my stack. So I'll push very into my stack, and then I'll mark my temp as null again. After this, what would happen? I have much, so I'll push much into my stack, right? I'll first of all have much, I'll build much, right? I'll build much in my temp, so the temp would be much. Now after this, the loop would be over, because I do not have any other dot. I do not have any other dot in the end. So once the loop is over, so I'll be pushing whatever is there in my string. I'll be simply doing st dot push temp, right? Whatever is my temp, so I'll be pushing it, right? So this is much, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? If this much part is clear, like up till now, whatever I have taught, like making all the words and then pushing it into the stack one by one like this. So if this much part is clear, please give me a +1 in the chat. A quick +1 in the chat would help us, right? Give me a +1 in the chat if this much part up till now is clear to everybody, right? I hope that it's clear to everyone. Is it clear to everyone? I did it without using any extra space with order of I did. Oh yeah, that's great. That's great. Is it clear to you, Lalit and Anurag and Aryan and other people? Pranav, is it clear to everyone? Like, how am I doing this? I'm making a stack, and this is the way that I'm building it. Now the thing is that you have this much part done, right? Give me a +1 in the chat if this much part is clear to everyone. A quick acknowledgement from your side would help. Okay. Okay, this much part is clear to everyone. Okay, that is great. Now the thing is that you have this much part done, right? You have this much part done. So now you want to print a resultant string, right? So you have a string result that you want to print, and what do you want to print, right? What do you expect as the output? You expect something like this, right? Much dot very dot program, something like this, right? So you have now, since you have the stack, right? You have the stack. Hi Shreya. So if you have the stack, so you have the thing, that is the advantage with the stack, that is last in first out. So whichever word had gone into my stack as the last, like much in this case, much had gone into my stack at the last, so it will come out first, and that is something that I wanted, right? I wanted much dot very dot something like this, right? Much dot very, the first word coming at the last and the last word coming at the first. So that is why stack's concept of last and first out would help me here, right? And notice that I haven't reversed the individual words anyway, right? I haven't reversed the individual words. So this is the advantage that I have with my stack. So what I will be doing is, I'll be simply doing this thing, right? While, like, I'll be marking a result as null, right? And what I would do is, while not of st.empty. So if my stack is not empty, so up till then I'll be iterating through the stack. And what I would do is, I'll say that let's say this is str is equal to st.top, right? st.top. So I'll take the current string out, and I'll say result plus is equal to str plus a dot, because I also need a dot after that, because after much I need a dot. So much dot, then things like this, okay? Much dot, then I'll have much dot in my result. After that, when I will have very, so I'll store very dot, something like this, right? And I'll pop out the top, so st dot pop. So I'll pop out the top as well, and this is how it would work, right? If this much part is also clear, you can let me know. Now the thing is that once you will be storing this much part, so there will be still a problem with the final result. Like if I were to tell you what the result would look like, so the result would look something like this. Result would be, in the end, the result would be equal to much dot very dot programming dot like dot I dot. So in the end, you can see that I'll be having one more dot, right? I'll be having one more dot. So for this, what I can do is, in the end, I can simply do result dot pop back, right? So that I do not have the last dot, because after last I do not want any dot. So that's why I can do a result dot pop back, so that the last dot is taken out. And in this way, I'll be having this particular thing in my result, right? So first of all, much will come out, and much will be stored with a dot, right? So I'll have this thing, right? Much dot would be stored first. After that, I'll take out very, so very dot will be stored. After that, what will happen? Programming and dot would be stored, then like and dot, then I and dot would be stored, but I'll be doing result dot pop back, so that I can take it out, right? If this much part is clear to everyone, please like the video and give me a +1 in the chat, right? If is this much part clear, and once the stack is empty, so I'll come out of it, right? So this would, since I'm using since I'm traversing through the string only once, so the time complexity would be order of n, and the space complexity would be order of n as well, because I'm using a stack data structure, right? In the worst case, it would be order of n. Now let me show you how I'll write the program. So let me show you that my code is first of all working. So I'll submit this particular code and show you that my code that I have told you, the implementation that I have taught, is actually working. So you can see that we are able to pass all the 118 test cases. Now let's quickly jump into the implementation that I have done for this particular problem. So what I've done basically is it's nothing very much complex. It's just that I've declared a stack for storing all these strings, right? All these strings I've declared a stack for storing all these strings. Then I have a string, you can say temp, for storing all the words. You can maybe mark it as word, that depends on you. Then I am iterating for the complete length of the capital string S that has been given to me. If the current character is not a dot, if the current character is not a dot, then I'll be adding this particular word. I'll be adding, so I'll say S plus is equal to S of I, right? Now if the particular character becomes a dot, right, in the else part you can write it, or you can write it in the if, that depends on you. So if I can see a lot of people are live, so you can just consider giving a +1 in the chat, and you can like the video. Okay, like I have tried to explain it in the best possible way, so all of you can just give me a +1 in the chat, right? So if the current if the current character is a dot, so that means I have completed a word in my S. A word has been stored, right? A word has been stored. So I'll simply push this into my stack, right? I'll push the words into my stack, and the word which is coming at the first, they will move down, right? So the word which is coming at the last would be at the top. So this would be the concept of last in first out, right? So that whenever I take out, now in the last for the last word, like I dot like dot programming dot very dot much, so after much I do not have a dot, so that's why much would be stored, and it would not get much would be stored in my string S, but it would not get updated in my stack, right? So that's why after the loop is over, so I'll insert the last particular string, I'll insert the last word as well. Then I'll mark my result as null. Why I'll mark my result as null? Because I have to build a result. So until my stack is empty, I'll try to iterate for all the words, and what I would do is I would take out the current current word from the string, that is the top word. So if it is I dot like dot programming dot very much, so much would be the top word, so I'll take out much and I'll pop it out, and then in the result I'll store result is equal to result plus much, and then a dot, right? str plus dot, like this, and I'll keep on storing it. Now in the end, like after I dot like dot programming dot very dot much, if I have like something like this, if I have made it in the reverse order, then after an I would be having a dot, and I do not want a dot after an I, right? So that's why I will pop this out, right? I'll do a result dot pop out. Why I'll do a result dot pop out? Because after I will also be having a dot, right? Because for the last character I do not, for the last word I do not need to have a dot, but since I have stored it this way, so that's why I'll be having it. So that's why you need to pop this out, and then you simply return the result. So what is Prince saying? Prince is saying, is the constant space important as per interview for the problem? It's you can try that out. You can read the editorial, or you can try it out. You can just mention that in the comments, whatever was your approach after this stream is over, and I'll be looking into it. It's definitely good to know that, but it's not necessary. Like, yes, pop back is a inbuilt method. Like pop back is an inbuilt method, so it will help you to get that last particular dot that you are getting, that is unnecessary dot that you have got after I, so you will be popping that out. That is why I'm using it. This is my own implementation. You can maybe implement it in a better manner, but this is the simplest way that I tried to implement it. Please consider giving me a +1 in the chat if everyone is clear with this problem, right? If everyone is clear with this particular approach, you can just consider giving me a quick +1 in the chat, right? Can use the concept of rotate array and try in one of an in language. It is not possible, just thinking out loud. Can use the concept of rotate array and try it. Definitely any approach that is working, that is perfectly fine. If it is getting accepted, then there is no problem with that, right? So I've tried to do it with a standard approach, like a stack approach, and it's just that you have to build the words, and then you have to store it in the stack, and then you just have to do result plus is equal to str plus dot, and in the end, if you will be having extra dot, so that's why you'll be doing result dot pop back, so that you can pop out the last dot that you have extra, and then you simply return the results. And this is the best possible, simplest implementation. And if you'll tell this in an interview, the interviewer will be quite impressed with your clean code that you have written. You can see that, like, it's very simple. Like, the question looked very complex, but I've just used the concept of stacks, right? So this is the last in first out concept. Also, like, if you like my explanation, if you like the way that we are doing it, so you can consider to subscribe this channel, because this is a channel powered by Geeks for Geeks. You can see Geeks for Geeks logo a lot of times, like you can see here, anywhere, right? So you can consider to subscribe this particular channel, that is Code Era. After this stream is over, you can just if you are using a mobile phone, so you can just, or any other thing, so you can just search Code Era in the YouTube search option. description, and you'll get this channel. So you can consider subscribing this channel, because we are bringing in a lot of content here as well, which is a little bit different than that is present on the YouTube. So that's it from my side for today. If you like the video, so you can consider to like the video. If you like my explanation, you can like the video, and apart from this, you can consider to giving a +1 in the chat. And like the problem of the day for today is coin of Geekland, so you can consider to solve this particular problem. It's been asked in Amazon. Thanks a lot everyone for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next live. Till then, stay safe.